Hey, everybody. I really love these tech conferences. I love going to them, hearing the stories, connecting with the people. And it's just really profound how you can hear one thing from a speaker and it just changes the whole way that you conceive and conceptualize the world. So I hope we can have a moment like that where I share something with you that maybe changes the way you see the world just a little bit. So anyway, these are lessons I've learned from the internet. Who am I? I'm a self-employed web publisher. I've been doing web products for over 20 years, which makes me an old man. And I create primarily educational content for students in classrooms. Anyway, I'm also the Block Magic Hackathon winner. So I competed in that competition against a few other people, and they said I won. So here I am. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about my story, and hopefully that helps you with your story a little bit. So starting at zero, I was a reading teacher in the city of Chicago. A lot of my students did not perform very well or had high needs that weren't being met. So I kind of reverse engineered the tests and created a body of materials that would help them learn these skills. And we saw tremendous growth year over year. The students seemed to learn the skills. It turns out if you teach them, they learn. So I saw that in the classroom. I was also interested in computers, as I still am, and I wanted to make more money. So I entered the world of Web 1, which was static web publishing, and I learned HTML, Linux, PHP, basic web languages. And then I started creating affiliate marketing websites, which if you don't know, you're trying to sell other people's products. So there's a site called Commission Junction, and I'm trying to create websites to sell vitamins and get leads for dating websites and things like that. And it didn't go well at all. It went very poorly because I was not creating content in which I had any expert subject matter. I did not know the material very well. And I was providing very little value for the space. So I was unable to generate income through that mode. But I kept building. And I began leveraging my background as an educator, taking that body of materials that I had created and publishing it. And I got into this program called Google AdSense, which kind of powers the free and open internet. And I started making a little bit of money. Some people were interested in these web products. They were the reading worksheets and such. They were searching for them. And I began serving them. And I started making just a little bit of money, a few cents here and there. But I knew that this was better than what I was doing before because now I saw a little signal that maybe I was doing something right and that if I continued working, it could possibly scale into something bigger, which it did. So I created this website, and now I serve many of the reading teachers in America and actually around the world. But yeah, it's had quite an impact. My own son has brought home worksheets that I wrote, as has my niece. So it just has incredible reach, which came about unexpectedly. So some lessons I learned from Web 1 publishing was that if something's going to work, there will be signs. So when I was doing the affiliate marketing, it wasn't working at all. There were no positive signals. So if you're doing something in your life, maybe look for signs. It could be just a few pennies, but if you could replicate that, you might receive some signs that you're doing something correctly. Also, try to find your unique value add. So when I was creating the affiliate websites, I wasn't adding any value, but I did have a background in education, and when I began drawing from that, I started seeing more success. So search in your life and your background, your family history, your profession, what your unique value add could be, because you know things that a lot of people don't know. So then I got in the world of Web 2. I joined this Google HTML5 hackathon in 2011. And I worked with this team. We created an application called Buddy Paint. So the HTML canvas had just come out, and it was like MS Paint, but you could do it, like I could do it on my computer, and you're on your computer, and we're both painting on the same canvas. So that was the concept. It was kind of fun. It was a short hackathon, and we won some Chromebooks, which had just come out at that time, so it was a real cool prize to win. I also started learning JavaScript and CSS and HTML5, which helped me out later. So these guys and I who won this hackathon, we founded a startup. It was called HomeWoe. It was designed to give teachers a platform from which they could publish assignments, resources they had created, or whatever, share and better communicate with parents. And so we spent a year building it and put a lot of time and effort into it, and users didn't want it. It totally failed. So rather than continuing to dump energy into it, I just cut my losses and I sold it on Flippa. I got about $400 for the site. Someone was interested in it, and that was the end of that. So I walked away from it. But I kept building. I started making these learning games. So it's like this game here is Poetry Cat. It's a cat, and it's like a platformer, but he can walk up the walls, and he collects yarn balls. And that bird's going to drop a rock on his head. And when the cat gets hit with the rock, it's going to ask the student a question. It's going to say, hey, here's an example of a poetic device. What type is the author using? And the student can hit the right answer, or the student can hit the wrong answer. If they hit the wrong answer, they die. If they hit the right answer, they can proceed playing. And students really like playing games, so they were very interested in getting the right answer, and I think this was an effective incentive mechanism to get them to think about what we were trying to teach them. So my students loved it, and I saw some very positive signals and developed it into I got about 10 games on the site now. So it's pretty successful. I'm still building games today. I really like to do it also. Here are some people leaving some comments about the game, and they interact with me. It's kind of fun to read what they have to say. The students give me ideas. Sometimes I take the ideas and use them and thank them. It's a pretty cool experience to interact with users and to build a product that young people actually use. Also, people make these YouTube videos. I don't actually watch many of them, but they do these like playthroughs where they play the game and they record it on the screen and, I don't know, share it with other people or something. So that's pretty cool. It's just cool to have an impact with users, to see them actually creating content on top of what I've done. So, anyway. Some lessons I learned from the Web 2 space were that you should try things, and if it's not working, just walk away, because you don't want to waste a lot of good energy on a bad idea. So if you're not seeing any positive signals, walk away. Also, another thing I learned is that painkillers are a much better thing to offer people than vitamins. People don't like doing a lot of work. They don't want to, the teachers didn't want to come home and then spend additional time putting work onto a website. Even though it was a simple platform to use, they didn't want to spend time doing that. But when I could make it so that the kids now in downtime in the classroom were learning, and the kids like playing games, and the teachers liked them learning, this was a painkiller. So this reduced the pain in the classroom for everybody. So it proved to be pretty successful, and I think as you continue on your journey developing and thinking about ways to maybe serve users, you could think about how to eliminate pain, and it'll probably go better than offering vitamins. So then I entered the world of Web 3. I bought the ETH top in 2018. So yeah, I bought up there. You can see it's roughly the top. And that's when I went to ETHCC down there. So I became a community member, held on fervently, bought all the way down, and like many people entering the space, lost all my money on level 1. But I continued. I met Sergey at ETHCC in 2019, which was a tremendous experience for me. I, even liked him there. You can see I'm smiling quite a bit. He's not really smiling very much. He's not known for his smiles, anyway. I started learning Solidity, which helped me later as I was in this space. I did this Chainlink hackathon in 2021. It was the fall hackathon. And I created an application called NFTest. So this was a generalized testing platform where teachers or users in general could create a test. They'd title it, they'd put questions in, and then they could upload an image that would be an NFT. So they would pick an image from their computer and set a threshold for the students, and if they passed the test, then they could mint the NFT. So that was kind of cool. I won a small prize for it, and I was happy to begin my journey in the Web3 space. And I kept building. I also joined the Chainlink Fall 2022 hackathon, and I created this application called Mind Labor Simulator, which is supposed to be a funny name. And you play, it's a platformer, you run around with a pickaxe, and you chop up monkeys, and you break these bricks, and some of the bricks contain ore. And the ore is it's an in-game asset, and it used Chainlink to mint it to an ERC20 token. And then once you had the ore, you could smelt the ore, and it would use Chainlink VRF to smelt into a random material. It could be gold or platinum or iron or nickel or something. And then you could also take that other ERC20 token, which you just minted, and then create an NFT item, which could be have a different combat rating based, again, on a VRF request. And all the metadata was on-chain. It was a pretty cool project at the time. And I won a prize. I won first in gaming and NFT category. They put me on the blog. That was a really cool experience for me. And I kept building. I did this 2023 Chainlink Fall Hackathon. Or, no, that was spring. Chainlink 2023 Spring Hackathon. I built a game called a Rome card game. You would use a PAX token, and you would burn it, and it would do a VRF to retrieve randomized cards of varying rarity. It was a strategy game, and I built some more. I've made this other strategy game called Happy Fun Kill Club. That was for the Constellation Hackathon. You would, again, burn this PAX token, and you'd get these randomized NFT cards. It was also, it had a deck building application, which was pretty cool. You could look at the cards and build different decks. And it was a full, like, multiplayer game with matchmaking. It was a pretty cool card game, but I don't know. I don't think people really like playing these online card games. I don't think so. Maybe they do, but I don't really know anybody who plays them, and nobody really plays this one. But it's still online if you want to check it out. It had this other function where you could mint these red coins, which was like an in-game asset, and you would play the game, and they'd give you the red coins, and you could mint them, and you could create these NFTs or buy these NFTs from the game with these red coins, which was like a currency that was supposed to incentivize gameplay. But again, if you have no users, that's the end of the story. So I kept going. I got a top quality prize for that one. And this latest one I've just done, in the Block Magic Hackathon, combined everything I learned. I created this project. It's called The Future of France. So this one, I won the grand prize, and that's how I got here today and why I'm talking to you, because this was a pretty good project. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's a classic JRPG gameplay with Web3 learning tasks. So here, the player is trying to get through the door. This is level 1. The door is locked. So you cannot get through the door unless you connect your wallet to the website. Once you connect your wallet to the website, the door opens. If you don't have a wallet, you can go to the in-game computer, click on a button, install a browser wallet right from the game, and then you can see the player here connecting and then opening the door, and look at that. You can move on to the next level. So the game teaches players various skills, how to have a wallet at the most basic level, to how to mint NFTs using VRF requests. Another cool thing is all the NPCs in the games are AI agents. So it's connected to ChatGPT-O. Instead of dialogue trees, they have agent prompts. And players type open-ended responses to the NPC agents, and then they respond in funny ways. So the game is to help users overcome, new users, onboard them, overcome the steep learning curve in our space where you can, lose all your money if you sign the wrong transaction. So in the game, there's these quiz bots that stand in your way, and they won't let you proceed to the next training level unless you can answer these questions. And if you can answer the questions correctly, like what's the difference between a password and a seed phrase, then the robot lets you pass, and you can go to the next level. You also learn about things like signature phishing, like make sure you're checking the site of origin, because if it's like a transaction for Uniswap, you probably don't want to sign it unless you're on Uniswap. And so players learn things like that to help them avoid potential pitfalls. They learn about various risks with token approvals, and as the game proceeds, they get to an open world adventure portion. Here's where it gets really fun. They walk around parks and stuff, go to stores. They meet this character called the Commissioner, who teaches them to use like CCIP to mint Go, or to go to Aave Bank and deposit collateral and delegate credit to a contract and borrow Go and send it using CCIP. And it's a pretty cool game for to teach users about DeFi and things like that. And I guess they thought it was cool too. And anyway, So there's a Uniswap building, there's an NFT marketplace, there's a yield farm, there's a DAO building. You can play this game if you want. You need a desktop, though. It's not mobile friendly. Chainlink Lab, there's room to expand. If somebody liked the game, they want, there a reason to continue building it, we could make another island or, continue expanding it. And there's room for sponsors. So if like someone had a protocol or something and they wanted to, teach people about it, they could buy a building and we could make it a learning center in the game. Might be cool. All right, some lessons I learned from Web3 were do hackathons. It allows you to iterate quickly and possibly win money. Interconnectivity for the win. You need to connect to various programs to maximize the potential of Web3, and use Chainlink. It's safe and secure and helpful. Thank you for listening to my speech. I appreciate all of you.